Well, good evening and welcome to the Green Room. And on a great programme we've got for you tonight, we've got Will Govan, who's been talking about the Begrudgers and his own bits and pieces that he's involved in as well. We'll be talking about moth productions, about art, about stuff like that. We've got news about Cavan's Got Talent as well. So anyone that's involved in Cavan's Got Talent, pay attention, because there's a bit of a surprise coming up at the end. And Seamus O'Rourke, I know for a fact that you're watching this. Don't know where you are, but I know you're watching this, and we've got a little surprise for you at the end as well. We're gonna have a little snippet of you, and we have the winner of the Stripes competition. The Stripes had just gone from, it just went ballistic last week with the Stripes, and when we had them on a couple of weeks ago, it just went crazy. So we'll have the winner of that. So we've got eggs, rashers, and heffalumps, and the whole lot coming up later on. First, we're gonna have a clip of the Begrudgers. We're gonna have a look at this, and then we're gonna be chatting with Will straight after this. Enjoy. Have a look.
1, 2, testing. A 1 and a 2, testing.
Hi, Nobby. Snout not here yet?
Does it look like it?
1, 2, testing. A how and a do, testing. How now, brown cow? A how.
Can I tempt you into trying one of our new wines?
Are they free?
No, but...
Well then there's no but then.
No. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of peppers.
Give me a whiskey.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
I'll tell you what. I'd have one of your wines if you have one of my whiskies.
Okay, then. Which wine would
Whiskey
you like?
first.
Ice, ice, baby. Ice, ice, baby. Testing. Around the rugged rock, the ragged rascal ran. Around the rugged rock, the ragged...
Your mother had the daz
Around
out.
the rugged rock, the ragged rascal ran.
Hi, Snout. You smell nice.
Lloyd George knew my father. My father knew Lloyd George.
It's free.
I'd have one of those, so.
It's Chilean. This wine is dark and seductive.
Dark and seductive. No wine can be
Are we
dark.
going to drink the fucking thing or rate it?
Brilliant stuff there. That's the Begrudgers. That's the latest episode that's on the net. Go to RTE Storyline. We will give you full details of how you must vote. It's very, very important that you get the vote across in order for the Begrudgers to go through to the next round. And with me now, live in the studio, is a man you just seen on the screen there. Brilliant stuff from Will Govan. And I'm going to say it to him because he says it to us. And it's become a catchphrase around Ireland and especially around Cavan. Will Govan, forte.
Thank you very much indeed.
Well, before we have a chat now, there's a little job I want you to do. We had a competition here a couple of weeks ago when the Stripes were on, and we give away a prize of a Stripes package. Now it's T-shirt, CD, blah blah, all in a nice little package. And Will is the winner. Will, would you like to tell us who the winner is there, please?
I would, very much. It is Harry Joyce, who's currently at Leeds University. So it's Harry Joyce in Leeds. Well done, Harry.
Good man, Harry. And that just goes to prove the power of Cavan TV. It's not localised, it's globalised. It's all over the world. So for all you people out there, no matter what you are, where you are, congratulations to Harry. They're watching in Leeds. And he sent in the email with the right answer. Stripe package is on its way. Will, very good evening to you. It's great to have you here.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here. I'm incredibly envious of Harry because I think it's an amazing CD.
Yeah.
And I want a T-shirt as well, if any of the lads are listening.
Well, I can work that for you now. I just happen to be slightly in the know with the Stripes.
Good.
I have some good connections there. Well, we're going to talk about the Begrudgers in a second.
Yeah.
But first, let's talk about Will Govan. How did Will Govan end up in Cavan? A Govan in Cavan, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm very uncomfortable talking about that. If not at all. I'll be delighted. Well, I'll tell you how I ended up in Cavan. It's quite simply, and I met a beautiful woman in London who happened to grow up in Cavan, and we were living in central London, and we just had a baby, and I said to her, let's go to Cavan because it's a glorious place, and so we moved here. And she never thought that she would ever come back, but I think now she's delighted that we made that decision.
And Will is involved with the arts here in Cavan, and he has his own. Is it a production company, Will, or is it? Well, you tell us, what's Moth Productions?
Well, Moth Productions is an offshoot from our business, The Moth. We publish an arts and literature magazine called The Moth, and Moth Productions is our way of being able to showcase theatre, which is something we can't do effectively in a magazine. And so that's how it started. And we were involved. Well, we produced a production last year, and we were going around art centres, theatres in Ireland, and there were very few people coming to the theatre. So we decided to take theatre back to the people, which is a wonderful kind of tradition in Ireland. And we've achieved that through producing something called the Moth Productions GAA Tour, wherein we take plays to GAA clubs and theatres, but hosted by GAA clubs in association with the GAA.
Your most successful, so to speak, today is Victor's Dung. Is that right? Would I be right in saying that?
Yeah, I mean, Victor's Dung has been phenomenal, and we were incredibly lucky in that we were really, just presenting the Victor's Dung on the tour, in that it had already been produced to fantastically by Seamus and the lads, and played in lots of places. So it was amazing to get a kind of ready-made product, which has been mind-blowing. Yeah.
Did you also do the pitch as well?
Yes, yeah, and that was we produced the pitch twice actually,
right.
And the second time was with Seamus O'Rourke, and that established Moth Productions really. And Seamus was extraordinary. We had Fiona Fitzpatrick, who was a veteran of the first production.
Yes, yeah.
And then we had Ray Fitzsimons, and we just...
The pitch, just we have to let people know, was written by Shane Connaughton.
Yeah.
And Shane, of course, very well known around here for his part in the Playboys, and running the country, and made his name, of course, with My Left Foot as scriptwriter on that.
Yeah. Yes.
And Seamus was director on that, was he? Seamus O'Rourke?
Yeah, well, funnily enough, I was convinced that I could do a better job in the first production, frankly, and so I tried to direct it, and with Seamus in the cast, and after a few minutes I realised that Seamus, was the man to be doing that. And it was a bit embarrassing, me kind of flapping around, in the rehearsal room, and I could see. I basically said, Seamus, this is, and I asked a lot of him, but he got absolutely everything that can be that could have been got out of that play, and from a directorial perspective. And I mean, he acted his heart out in it. So yeah, he was brilliant.
Brilliant. Yeah, but we're not going to blow his trumpet. He's too fond of blowing his own trumpet. And he'll be back on here in a couple of weeks, because I do know. I'll tell you more about what Seamus is at a bit later on. And what's next for the Moth Productions?
Well, who knows? I mean, we're currently still touring with Victor's Dung. We've got a gala performance in Cork on the 4th of May. We're going to be in Sligo this Friday. We're going to be in Longford on Saturday. So we've got several dates left, and we're planning something huge for the autumn. And so that's very exciting.
Is it coming back to Cavan? Will it be back in Cavan before it ends its run, or
Victor's Dung?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
There's such a hunger for it. We shall see.
It is phenomenal. Like I've seen it a couple of times now, and it really is. It's brilliant. The lads are brilliant. Seamus is brilliant. The whole story. Anybody can get the story when they see it. Would it work? Yeah. Would it work abroad? Would it work London, America, or anywhere like that?
I'm convinced it could. It would
travel.
I think it would travel, absolutely. Yeah. I think it has the potential to be a real Irish staple. It's a great piece.
That's the Moth. That's your bread and butter, so to speak. Your bread. It keeps you going. It keeps a loaf on the table. But what about the Begrudgers? Now this made you a star.
Well, you're right. I am the star of the show. No, I'm very fortunate to be involved in it, and I just happened to have landed up with a fantastically creative bunch of people, and how incredibly lucky, really. And
were you surprised when you came to Cavan? You're coming to this small town in Ireland.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd been to Ireland before, but you come to this small town and all this stuff's going on. It really is. There's films going on, there's drama, there's plays, all this. And all of a sudden you're in the thick of it.
Yeah, it's been a tremendous adventure.
Yeah.
And I suppose being in London I spent my life waiting to be spotted,
Yeah.
and
you're
I
big
had
enough.
a cabin for that. I know. I mean, it's great, but I'm not surprised because there's so many talented people around, really,
Yeah.
and art and theatre and creativity. I mean, it's a cliche, but it's so kind of embedded in the psyche of Irish people. And when we first arrived in Cavan, we had this wonderful landlord, and he was so lyrical. It was glorious. I could just listen to him all day, and it's beautiful. So, one sense, I'm thrilled, but I'm not surprised because it's a great place.
Yeah, it's good. And this episode we've done, that's been done now at the Begrudgers.
Yeah.
The pub is now belongs to you,
Yes.
and that enlighten us, because the catchphrase I'm sure you all know is "falte," which really has kicked off. And nobody says "falte" anymore. They all say "falte." Do it for us.
Falte. Well, funny enough, I am famous because
Did you come up with that, or
Huh?
did Philip tell you to say it like that? Did he direct you in that direction, or did you read it like that?
Yeah. I don't know. These things came together,
Yes.
But it was my idea. But look, the point is I was walking down the main street in Cavan the other day, and the car went by, a crowd of people, and I didn't know. And one of the lads stuck his head out of the window and went, "Falte!" So I was delighted, absolutely delighted. Yeah.
It's brilliant, and but it's countrywide, because I know a lot of people around Dublin that watch it and follow it. Everyone's following it all over the country. This is the next step, right? So don't forget, people, please. I know I want to keep on and on about it, but you have to vote. Go to RTE Storyland and vote for the Begrudgers. The vote is vital. Don't look at it on Facebook. That doesn't matter. You can watch it all the time on Facebook, but that doesn't count as a vote. You must go to RTE Storyland and cast your vote, and cast it. And tell your friends, no matter where they are in the world, they can watch it. So tell them to cast it. Well, what about production? What about production? What's a lot of rehearsal goes on, and
A phenomenal amount, actually, and it's incredibly intense and involves lots and lots of people, and it's very, very slick.
Yeah.
So it is, it is hard work, but I mean it's not really, because it's huge fun.
Yeah.
So it's very surreal, actually, because when you look at the episode or the webisode, you can't imagine that you were even there, because there's so many. It's not like theatre where you're on the stage and you know what you're doing and you're in control. There's so many other people involved, and the editor and the the cameraman and people who do continuity, all sorts. Even on a I suppose what is a relatively kind of small project, it's so many people involved who are vitally important to the whole thing. So it's hugely exciting. It's like being in Hollywood.
it's a team,
Yeah,
It's a whole team effort. How long does it take? Does it take 3 or 4 days, a whole weekend?
It takes 3 or 4 days, and the first thing I found very difficult, because we've got this glorious girl called Brianne, who plays Gemma.
Your wife in the Begrudgers,
and I had to kiss her in the
such a terrible job.
And we had to do do it about 50 times.
Right.
And that is hard work. And I did nearly drop out of the project at that stage, because I thought, no, I've had enough of this.
Brianna, I know Brianna will be watching this as well. If a stand-in is required, I'm not just quite as tall as Will, but we get a box or something. Be no problem. We saw something out anyway, and Philip's script, and you have loads of rehearsal. Is there many takes?
There's many. I wasn't joking. There's many takes, and not only takes from one angle. There's takes from all sorts of angles. So I had never anticipated that you would have to be so thorough, and so you might be doing something and it's not right, and they'll do it again. But even if it is right, they'll just do it for safety, and so from all sorts of different dimensions. And that, of course, involves changing the lights around. So you might be shooting from the front, and so you have all the lights set up, which can take some time, and then you have to do it from the back, and there's loads of extras, and it's incredible. And
you're under the direction, the directorship, I should say, of Philip.
Yeah.
Phil and Liam, they're the boys. They're in charge of the whole lot. They have their team as well, and that's, like you say, it's there's cells of people
Yes,
doing different things.
yes.
And Finn, of course, famous for the Stripes video, the fantastic Stripes video. But
Yeah.
the cinematography is great in it. It looks...
It's extraordinary, and there's no panic on the set at all.
Yeah.
I mean, Finn is just like, he's in complete control, and as is Philip.
Yes, yeah.
But they're all, you know, to be such kind of seasoned, you know, professionals.
Yeah.
That it's awesome, really. It's awesome because they I don't know how they learn how to do this, and they're just passionate about it, you know.
When Will Govan is looking back at an episode, what does he see? Does he see the whole picture, or does he see, oh, there's me, Forte, there's me on the screen in the garages?
You're right. I see a kind of very tall, rather awkward-looking man most of the time, and it takes watching it several times to actually look at other people.
But you've great
and try and look at it objectively, you know.
Yeah, you have great on-screen presence, because I've seen Will and Ray and Phil, and they did a live segment there recently in Chapter 1 one evening, and that worked as well. That was really good. That was and it's currently on Cabin TV. If you haven't seen that, you can look it up. Go to cabintv.com and you'll see Chapter 1, and you'll see that segment where the boys actually do it live. They do, and that was really intense stuff, because it was spur of the moment nearly, wasn't it?
Yeah, we didn't have long to rehearse the script, and it was fairly intense, but it was wonderful to have an audience. There's an entirely different buzz altogether, and it was really good fun.
Brilliant, absolutely. If it goes to RTE,
Yeah.
what happens then? How long is a lot of people have been saying, how long is the process? How long is the storyline process? Now we know, I don't know who the last one that got knocked out, but anyway, the last one that was knocked out, that was it for them. Is this the final, the semi-final? Is it coming to an end?
If we get through, and we need your votes, so please vote. Even though you might think, oh, it's all going really well and it looks great, we still need your votes, and you must tell your chums, because there's not much in it between the people who get through and the people who do get through. It's a matter of a handful of votes. So please do vote for us, because I'm having so much fun.
Kiss with Rihanna.
Yeah. We are this. If we get through, we go into the final, and we will have made a total of 4 episodes.
Yes.
And then, you know, hopefully we'll win.
And the prize, so to speak, is...
Well, the prize is really the opportunity to have showcased one's project in 4 episodes.
with the hope that it'll be picked up and
That's right.
worked on from
Yeah,
there.
that's right. You know, and not necessarily... it doesn't necessarily mean that the begrudges will be snapped up by RTV, and I hope it will, but it means that the people involved get terrific exposure, and they will get opportunities from that, without question. Yeah.
For argument's sake, Will,
Yeah.
like, just going off the cuff now, just
Yeah.
for a minute. Supposing somebody came and rang Will Govan and said, we want you to audition for another part in a TV series or something like that, would you go for it?
Yeah, it depends. Of course, I think I would. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course I would. And you
Hollywood
get a taste. You get a taste for it, because I tell you, one of the things is that you have people doing your makeup, right, and hair. And I didn't really have. They didn't really do much for my makeup and hair, but it's just so nice to have people kind of touching you, and you feel really special.
Yes, of course, yeah.
So imagine doing that every day. I think I would do it. I think I'd jump at it.
I think I'd do it.
I think it would be. Yeah, I think it would be. I think it would be huge fun, and I am available.
When you tread the boards in the theatre, would you go for that?
Yeah, I would. I'd love it. I mean, I think it's the lads who are currently on tour at Victor's Dung. They're working incredibly hard,
Yeah.
and you know, some of them have full-time jobs during the day, and then they're on stage. So to that end, it's incredibly intensive. And
Yeah.
if you have a family, that's a massive commitment.
It's a massive ask, yeah.
So
yeah.
I suppose the wonderful thing about if you did television, you can, you know, it's relatively civilized in terms that you can just do it just like having a day job, you know.
Yeah,
You go
yeah.
back home in the evening. I don't know, but I think it would be more straightforward to that degree. So if you, to go around the country in a play is a massive commitment.
I went away with the lads one night with Victor Stone, and the commandant, as she's known, Karina Charles, was there. I tell you the truth, she runs the whole thing.
Yeah.
Karina runs the whole
She's
thing.
a magnificent
But I had a fantastic time
Yeah.
with the lads,
Yeah.
and Karina, and they really
Yeah.
looked after us well.
Yeah.
Myself and Mick went, and we're doing a mockumentary which we'll tell you about again. That's still in the pipeline. So, and unless of course Tommy and Seamus and the boys keep sending me money, otherwise we're going to show the mockumentary. We're going to show it on Cavan TV. Right, vote is all we can say. Right, we've got to tell the people, vote for the Begrudgers. It's very, very, very important that your vote is cast. Go to RTE Storyland, look at the Begrudgers. You'll see vote now flashes up on the web page itself, and you just vote like mad. Vote like mad. Well, you can have your own party political piece there. Get them to vote. Get them.
We need your we do need your votes, and I'll tell you, hold it, Rom hat. No, we need your. I don't even know what that means. We need your votes because the quality of this thing is it's extraordinary, and without these, it is that simple. It's not about people looking at it and saying, "Oh, this is really good," and by virtue of it being really good, you must go through. It doesn't work like that. It is about votes. So give it a vote and tell your mates. Don't just talk about it. Actually, go on to Facebook and vote.
Yeah. And spread the word on Facebook, and spread the word everywhere. Anyone, anywhere can vote. Go on Facebook, have a look at it, share it with your friends, tell them to vote, and get. It's not only Ireland. You can go anywhere you like. Anyway, if you have friends in Australia, America, England, of course. Get them heffalumps, get them out, get them voting, because they need the votes to get it through. We're not the city. The cities have a much bigger populace that can vote. We're the country. We need people from the country to vote for us. Cavan TV goes to the world, so spread the word. Well, thanks very much.
Thank you.
We're going to have a look at the Begrudgers now. Just before we do, Will, now anybody that knows me
Yes.
knows I'm not the tallest person in the world. But Will, it happens to be. Well, go on, get over here. Look at this. Come on.
Oh, Jesus.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
This is
Just so you're
Will, thank you
humiliating.
very much.
This would never happen on
Four
the
day.
BBC.
I've got a ladder there to climb up him. Here's the Begrudgers.
All day, Rom hat. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and you are very welcome to our very first poetry evening here in an Irish pub. Whatever next, eh? Snoopy Diddy Dog rapping at a Ku Klux Klan rally.
Maggots. Each every fucking one last one. Art.
El campo de calcio.
I want to be dead with my friends.
I gladiatori.
Ugly fucking
Irlanda have a great football team.
When the milk turns sour, I will make cheese.
so true. How are you?
Hello.
Are you a poet?
My boyfriend is.
I dabble a bit myself. In poetry, like.
Have you been published?
It has a lingering finish.
Meaning you can't get the fucking taste out of your mouth.
Thank you. But good luck with your poems.
Who's your man?
Just one of the local bar stools.
What's he saying?
Oh, that he's a poet.
I'd say he needs shitting himself.
It's a fusion between postmodernism and pre-futurism.
She's going out with some weirdo who goes
I haven't spoken to him since he paid pay the household charge.
I haven't done anything since my father came. I just wanted to look
Now, dear boy, ladies and gentlemen, one of our drunks in residence is going to take the stage.
Woo-hoo! Go on, Snout!
Oh dear.
Just because you sip wine, you think you're better than me. You call yourselves poets and writers and dreamers. But yous are all a bunch of fucking bullshit artists.
Go on, Snout, you might.
Don't you fucking interrupt me!
Snout, you're drunk.
All our great writers were great drunks. Do you think Brendan Behan pounced around the place with a glass at Sauvignon Blanc in his hand? No. He was drinking stout and enticing revolution! Yeah! Do you think Calvin ever styled his fucking hair? Or even washed? Or even had sex with a woman before the age of 30? No! He was growing spuds out of his ears while writing the greatest poetry of the 20th century! He was off his face and opium. Oscar Wilde drank red boy Stephen! And as for Joyce, Giordano went blind from the drink!
And masturbating.
Masturbation.
But yous come into my pub and begrudge a simple man's quest to drink myself into oblivion. My black dew will flow from that tap, and nobody will take that away from me!
Snout, what the fuck are you? How's it looking?
Gemma!
I think it's fair to say you're barred. Schlong.
Snout, come on.
Huh? I'm sorry, Nomi. I think I'm going to stay.
There, and don't forget, vote now, and vote off and tell all your friends to vote as many times as they can. Spread the word around, spread the word. RTE Storyland, if you're not too sure about voting. Now, looking at it on Facebook does not count as a vote, so make sure you get that right and go to RTE Storyland if you want more details on it. Now, Calvin's Got Talent started way back in February, and 17 acts have been whittled down to just 4. And the final takes place this Friday night in the Imperial here in Cavan. And we have Christy and Mono from Killashandra. There they are there on the screen there. Wonderful act there, 2 lads from Killashandra. Loads of variety from them. We also have Brendan German. That's Brendan, another town lad here. He's from Cavan Town, Brendan. And then we have the Cavan Big Band. Cavan's Big Band. Dark horses in the competition, so they're saying that they've come up out of nowhere. And they're now in the final, so it's going to be very, very exciting. And of course the girls from Cavan Town here. And that's Harmony, that's the Carmichael sisters there, and they're all in the final this week. Now, as an added bonus to the Cavan's Got Talent final, not only we'll have the guests in here on the Green Room next Wednesday night, we'll have the winners of the competition will be here, but there will be an hour-long Green special for the winners where they could pick their guests and sing a few songs, and it'll be an hour-long special, especially for the winners of Cavan's Got Talent this year. So we look forward to seeing who will be here next week. So the best luck to Christy and Mono, Brendan German, Cavan Big Band, and of course the girls, the Carmichael sisters, and that's Harmony. So the best of luck to the whole lot of them. Now we're just winding up now here on the Green Room for this week. But before we go, a little word about Seamus O'Rourke. Seamus currently has a kind of a Talking Head series going on YouTube, where he's wrote all these little, I suppose they're sonnets. No doubt he'll ring me and tell me they're punnets or something else like that. He's currently in pre-production, I don't know whether he has this written or not, the play called Halfway House Hotel. and that's in conjunction with the Backstage Theatre in Longford. And Victor's Dung is still doing great stuff all over the country, and deservedly so. And if you get a chance, make sure you go and see it. But we're going to finish this evening's programme with this little snippet from Seamus, and it really is, it's sad and it's funny, and there's a bit of all of us in this somewhere along the line. Make sure you join me next week on the Green Room. Well, we'll have the winners of Kevin's Got Talent here, and we'll have another couple of guests as well, a couple of surprises in store for you next week. But in the meantime, we're going to leave you with Seamus O'Rourke. What Kind of an Idiot Are You? This is called, and this is brilliant. When you've seen this, there's loads of other ones on YouTube. Funny, sad, pathos, you name it, he's got it. So till next week, Paul Cox saying good luck, and wait, hold on, because Laura Castellan's coming up after the show with the Community Focus Group. Here's Seamus. Thank you very much.
Me father never praised me much, except when there was money made. And he used to give me some shocking eightens when I'd lay in bed till dinner time or longer, depending on the head and how much wine I had. And I can still see him standing at the door, and he'd let out this almighty roar, "What kind of an idiot are you?" And I'd look at him like a schoolboy dumb after being asked some difficult sum by the master. Oh, the fact that I was an idiot, I had no doubt. It was the kind of one I could never work out. I remember when I was 17 and I went to buy me first car. I knew I couldn't go far without the lad coming along to give his wee bit of advice. And we were just going up into Brady's yard, and Brady come out looking for his pound of lard or flesh, asking, what kind of a yoke were you thinking of getting? And I could see the lad setting himself for a long discussion on 15-year-old Escots like the one he had himself. And before he could say, "That's another good day," I said, "A red one with a stereo." And I looked at the lad, and the head was low, and he turned away as if to go, and he muttered, "What kind of an idiot are you?" I went away over to look at this sporty car, and I could see the lad over the yard with his head stuck in the boot of a Volkswagen Jetta, thinking that'd be a fierce yoke for carrying a lot of bags of mail, and I was going to shout over, "Why don't you get into it?" But I went ahead with me deal, and Brady and the suit made another sale. I bought a sound, reliable car with low mileage that was easy on petrol. And it was red with a stereo and 2 big lumps of spot lamps on the front of it, and the lad didn't speak for a week. I remember too when I used to play a bit of ball, around the middle of the field mostly. I was tall and strong and good at the freeze. That was before the bad knees and the hamstring trouble. And the lad used to go to every match, and he'd watch every kick and every catch I'd make, or let fall, and then you'd hear him roar and keep your eye on the ball. Oh, what the hell you at? Then I got on the Leitrim team, and now for me that was like the realisation of a childhood dream. That's when the lad started to chew the wire and smoke Joe Brady's fags because he had none of his own, and then you'd hear him roar and look at number 9 all alone in the middle of the field. Would you mark him? Stop running round like an idiot. How could you play and you not fit? Let the ball do the work, head into the square. Long balls, long balls, long balls. And then the ref would blow the whistle for a free against me, and thou let it start to boo, 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 boo you, who are you, boo? He wasn't a great booer. We got into a final and I got through in the goal, and I was thinking of thou lad and playing the hero's role and thinking of sticking the ball in the back of the net, and then I was met with this big full back. Sure, he left me on my arse in the muck. What kind of an idiot are you? Take him off to fuck. He didn't speak for a month. I remember the evening I got a phone call about 4:30 or 5. They said, "Your father's alive, but he's wake. He'll not last the night." And I remember trembling and shaking all over with the fright and the shock. And I went up to the house as quick as I could, and I prayed for him that night as any son would for his father. And I went into the room, and he was there in the bed, and he turned and he looked at me and he said, "I never praise you much." And I said, "No. No, you never praise me much." And he seemed to smile and say, "There was often a lack of communication." Aye, there was. There was.